Hey there, my name's Tryston, and welcome to the Modern Node. Thank you for clicking on this video. This is a JavaScript intro course. We're going to be going from the very basics of JavaScript, like defining variables and functions, which is stuff you might not even know about, and we're going to go all the way up into the intermediate stuff later on. And we're not just going to sit here and explain to you all the stuff about what JavaScript is and blah, 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 without actually showing you. We're actually going to help you build projects in this course, so that way you have actual experience building things and actually explain why you would use things in certain use cases, so that way you actually come away from this course at any point with a decent understanding of how certain things work in programming, and specifically with JavaScript. So let's go ahead and get into what exactly is JavaScript. So JavaScript is a web-based programming language. Pretty simple enough. It's also referred to as ECMAScript, like ES6, ES7, ES 2015. So sometimes you might hear like JavaScript ES7 syntax. That's a certain version of JavaScript. It's a web-based programming language, so it's also used for interacting mainly with HTML and CSS. When you build a web page, you use HTML and CSS to make the page look good, and then JavaScript is how you add a lot of functionality to that page, so it's actually a useful page other than just having information on it. Couple things to know is that it's not the same as Java. JavaScript and Java are completely separate things. The only similarity is that they are both programming languages. The backend can be done with Node.js, so you can write JavaScript backend servers with Node.js. We'll not be focusing on that in this course. We will have a Node.js course in the future, but that's a little bit far off. And you can also make desktop applications using Electron, by writing in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right, so how do we get started? So first up, let's go ahead and get into VS Code. So before you want to start, in order to start getting coding, you're going to want to download an IDE. An IDE is an integrated development environment. You're going to hear this term a lot in programming. And the best IDE, in my personal opinion, for making websites is definitely Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is very lightweight, but also powerful. And it has a couple key features that basically every IDE should have, which is IntelliSense, which allows the program to predict what you're going to write based on the context of what you have written or the project you're working on. It also has debugging support, built-in Git support, and extensions. And there's going to be a few extensions that we're going to have you install once you download VS Code. So I recommend getting VS Code. You don't have to do it. You can also get Atom or Sublime Text or any other IDE that you personally prefer. You could even do it in Notepad or Notepad++. But as we've said, it'd be really good if you would use an IDE, something like this. It'd just be much easier for you to follow along. So let's go ahead and look at the project that we built. So this is the very basic first project that we're going to build in this course. This project will probably take you about maybe 2 hours worth of video to accomplish. Some of the parts are pretty low level, like learning about variables and stuff like that and strings. But most of it, or some of it, is also pretty high level, like event listeners and document object model manipulation, otherwise known as DOM manipulation. So you may not know what a lot of that stuff is. That's okay. We're gonna go into it, and yeah. So this is a very basic test app. Basically, you can add a post. It's supposed to be like a very miniature version of like your own profile for posts or like a blog. So you can just say, let's say my new post is how my dog is the best dog. Very bad grammar, but that's okay. And then you can delete posts, and you also have the update feature, which I haven't added in this version yet. So we'll have delete, update. I'll teach you how to actually add items and how to display them in the UI dynamically. And then currently it doesn't refresh and keep data, but we will make sure that in the final version you'll learn how to use local storage, which is actually very simple. That's about it for this first introduction video. When it comes to the UI, don't get all scared about the UI if you don't know HTML or CSS. We're going to be skipping over HTML and CSS for this course because I just want to teach JavaScript. So I will have a download link in the next video, in the description of the next video, on where to actually get this front end, because you're just going to download this and then it'll come with a JS file, and we're just going to open up that JavaScript file. And for now, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.